And to be honest with you, this could change absolutely everything. Right guys, so this is a weird video for me to be making, but I feel like I have to make it. As you guys know, I had a private health DNA done, and my results come back, and some of them shocked me. Long story short, I was very deficient in B12, B9 folate and selenium. Since then, guys, I have been to the doctor and spoke to the doctor regarding this, and he is going to put me through some more blood tests, which I had today through my doctor. But guys, this has left me in such an awkward position, such a strange position, because ever since receiving those private DNA tests results, it's just had my brain ticking, and I'm constantly seeing things online with wellness doctors, and I think they're called practical doctors, something along them lines. They're basically different than the normal doctor, but they've got the same degree, saying that fibromyalgia is not real. Okay guys, you know where I stand with this. You know that I will back us to the hill 100%. I am always calling people out on their bullshit, and I will not take anyone saying fibromyalgia is not real. But I believe, since I've got these results, if I'm being 100% honest with myself, I always feel like there's something else that's been there that has been missed. It's not my fault as such, because I've been so pig-headed and been like fibromyalgia, because the thing is, I've put my trust in my doctors, and over the last 7 years, I've been getting tested. So like I say, I believed I was tested for everything, and since these tests come back and I found out that I wasn't tested for a B12 deficiency, I was shocked, and it's made me want to know what else I haven't been tested for. Okay guys, I want to also say that I have taken B12 for a long time. I've also taken B12 shots, but looking into this more closely, I realized that you have to take blood tests before and after, so they get the exact right amount of B12 that you need in your system. I am not saying for 1 minute that I believe, and the doctor backed me up on this as well, that my fibromyalgia is a B12 deficiency. He said there is some differences in my symptoms that I have. He said, but it can be responsible for some of the symptoms that I'm having, like fatigue and brain fog, things like that. But like I say, I believed I was tested for everything, and it seems like I haven't been tested for everything. And I always used to listen to the doctors, and the more and more that comes out, maybe I've just been going down a rabbit hole of pharmaceuticals getting pushed on us, and so on and so forth. I don't really want to go into that, but am I just selling myself short to not investigate and accept that I've been given something called fibromyalgia? Seeing these doctors online that say that there's an underlying cause has had me thinking massively since seeing these results. Another reason why it's had me thinking is because I was actually diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome on one piece of paper, and on another piece of paper I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And a weird story about that, I was actually told by the lady face to face, I believe you have fibromyalgia, go home and Google it. And then when I got home, I received the diagnosis of complex regional pain syndrome. And when I spoke to the pain clinic a week later for a certain update on something, the lady said, oh, and your diagnosis was fibromyalgia, wasn't it? And I said, well, one lady told me this, one lady told me that. She actually sent out another letter that said the diagnosis was fibromyalgia. So it's had me thinking, am I just getting labelled? Guys, it's really hard for me to say this. It is really, really hard for me to say this. But I do care and I don't care. Look, what I'm trying to say is I care for my community, and I care for what I've built on TikTok and on YouTube. But I don't care to lose followers if people don't want to follow along with my journey in me trying to find out the truth. Okay, so I'm called James Fighting Fibro, and right now I'm just fighting to find out the truth, because I feel like I'd be selling myself short if I didn't. Like I say, I believed that I was tested for everything, and it's come to light that I haven't been tested for everything. So I'm gonna try my damn hardest to find out everything I can. If there's a possibility it can help me, then I'm going to do it. And I'm not only doing this for me, guys, I'm doing this for you as well, because there is so many people out there that ask me for help. And if I'm not being 100% with myself, how can I be 100% with you guys? This is not to say that I don't believe fibromyalgia could be something where they haven't got a test for and there isn't no underlying cause. It could just be what they think it is, a traumatic event or an injury, so on and so forth. Because what keeps coming back in my mind is people like Lady Gaga and Morgan Freeman and Martin McCutcheon have all been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and people like this have money at their disposal to take every single test they want, like a Lyme disease test, like whatever deficiencies, any private test they want to take, they've got money at their disposal to do so. And I would say, if I was in their position, 100% I would do so as well. So that keeps popping in my mind. But the little niggly thing that keeps coming back to me is a certain TikTok that I seen, and I actually responded to this woman before, because I used to see these TikToks saying, if you've got fibromyalgia, it's not real. The pain you suffer with is real, but fibromyalgia is not a real diagnosis. It's just given to you when the doctors don't know what it is. And where I've got those two diagnoses about the same thing makes me wonder. But this lady kept on calling out, kept on saying, we're here to help you. And I just thought that this was a sales technique to get people into her office to make money off. But now it's had me thinking, it really has had me thinking, are they missing something with me? And to be honest, I'm not going to stop until I've gone down every single avenue, all different kinds of tests. I have seen that there is a condition that is very closely linked or has the same symptoms as fibromyalgia called small fiber neuropathy, something along those lines. And to be diagnosed with this, you need to be taken a skin biopsy. No skin biopsy has ever been taken from me. Things like certain EDSs, Ehlers-Danlos syndromes, which is can be hypermobility and so on and so forth. They can be tested in certain ways, and I have not had those tests. So the more and more I dig into things, the more and more I find I've only had blood tests and MRI scans. I've never had no biopsies. I've never had certain other tests. So I am really intrigued now to find out the truth. It may come to light, guys, that the passing of my brother has just shocked my system, and I do have a complex regional pain syndrome, aka fibromyalgia, which they can't explain. But it may come to light that they've missed something. And I keep going back in my head to where I first went when I started to get symptoms, and they said that there was something wrong with my liver. And that was never investigated any further. I believed it was, but I found out now that it wasn't. So I am not going to stop. I don't really know where to start, to be honest with you. I'm not a rich man, so I know these things are going to entail money. I know I'm going to have to go private with the majority of them. I spoke to the doctor the other day. He said to me, he sees that I've done my research, he sees that I know what I'm talking about, but he believes that there is a fibromyalgia. He believes that there is an unexplained condition that can come on through shock or through an accident, which I don't really know how that left me in my head, because I'm not really used to hearing that. And then kind of when I didn't want to hear that, I heard it, you know. So guys, this is just me being open, honest, 100% honest with you guys, as I always try to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you updated on my journey. I hope this doesn't upset anyone or let anyone down. This is not me saying I do not have fibromyalgia or I believe I have something else. It's just me seeking the truth. And when I can put a full stop behind it and say they have tested for everything, then I can say, yes, I've done everything. But at the moment, they haven't. So I'm going to have to do it for them. Guys, I hope this video makes sense. I would love for you to continue watching my journey. And if you've got any recommendations on how I can go about starting this process of getting tested for a tick bite, Lyme disease, these small thyroid neuropathy, gut health issues, you name it, please let me know. I think they're called, I don't know if they're called practitioner doctors or another form of doctors, but if you know, please let me know. Guys, I hope you're having a low pain day and your fibro flare-ups are at bay.